Hi, my lovely friends. It's Jessica here, and I'm so happy you're with me today. Grab your favorite drink, get comfy under a blanket if you can, because we're going to spend some gentle time together talking about English. Thank you for choosing to be here with me. It really means the world. Today, I want to talk about something that used to make my head spin when I was learning, but now I actually find it kind of beautiful. We're going to look at past simple and past continuous, or, as I like to call them, the finished story tense and the in the middle of the moment tense. Let me start with a tiny story from my own life, okay? A few years ago, I was living in a small apartment with the tiniest kitchen you can imagine. One evening, I was cooking dinner, just simple pasta with tomato sauce, when suddenly my phone rang. I was stirring the sauce, the kitchen smelled amazing, steam was everywhere, and then, ring ring! It was my best friend calling to tell me she was moving to another city. In that exact moment, everything felt so big and emotional. Do you see what happened there? I used past continuous to paint the background. I was cooking dinner, I was stirring the sauce, the action was already happening. I was right in the middle of it. And then, the interrupting moment, I used past simple. My phone rang. She called me. That's exactly how these two tenses love to work together. Past continuous gives us the atmosphere, the feeling of being inside the scene, and past simple comes in like a sudden event that changes everything. Let me give you another one from yesterday. Yesterday, at around 8 o'clock in the evening, I was watching Netflix, curled up on the sofa with my cat, when I suddenly remembered I forgot to call my mom back. I was watching, I was in the middle of it, cozy and relaxed, and then I remembered. Quick, finished action. Can you feel how different they sound? Past simple is like taking a photo of something that's already complete. Mozart lived from 1756 to 1791. He wrote more than 600 pieces of music. He died when he was only 35. Finished. Done. The story is told. Past continuous, though, it's more like a short video clip. This time last year, I was living in a different city. At 10:30 yesterday morning, Karen and Jim were playing tennis. You can almost hear the ball going pop, 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 right? They were laughing, they were in the middle of the game, nothing was finished yet. And here's my favorite thing, when they danced together. I was walking home from the shop when I saw my old school friend across the street. I was walking, I was already on my way, in the middle of the action. I saw him. Sudden moment. Or this one that always makes me smile. Tom burned his hand while he was cooking dinner. Ouch! He was right there in the kitchen, focused on the food, and suddenly, ow! I know these things can feel confusing at first, and that's completely okay, sweetheart. I used to mix them up all the time. I would say things like, I cooked when you called, and it sounded so flat, like I just quickly finished everything before the phone even rang. But when I started saying, I was cooking when you called, suddenly the other person could picture me in the kitchen, apron on, trying not to burn the food. It makes the story feel alive. One last little gentle reminder. There are some special verbs that don't usually like the ing form in the past. Know, want, believe. We say, we knew each other very well, not we were knowing. Or I wanted to stay longer, not I was wanting. English just hugs those verbs in a special way, and that's fine. So to wrap it up, my lovely friend, today we talked about past simple for finished actions, complete stories, things that happened and ended. I walked home, she passed the exam, Mozart died at 35. Past continuous for actions that were in the middle, the background atmosphere. I was cooking, they were playing tennis, I was living abroad. And how beautifully they work together when something sudden happens in the middle of something else. You did so well just by listening and thinking about this with me. I'm really proud of you. If this video felt helpful, even just a tiny bit, I would be so happy if you could give it a little thumbs up, subscribe so we can keep meeting like this, and maybe share it with a friend who's also learning English. They might need a warm hug from grammar too. And before you go, I picked a few cozy videos for you to watch next. They're right here in the description or popping up on your screen now. They're gentle, short, and full of more little English moments. Thank you for spending this time with me. Big, big virtual hug. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.